Hello, you're welcome again to another episode of your favorite home front on EWTV.
Yes.
Thank you for joining in today again. We are still here, your hosts, Ruth and Ebuka for short, the edits.
Yes.
Thank you for joining in today again. Yes, we have another interesting discussion today. We want to look at the home again, and our topic for discussion today is the role of the mothers in the home. Are you a mother? Are you sitting right there looking at me? Yes, this discussion is for you. Are you a father? Yes, you still need to hear this so you can tell it to your wife. So
I know this is a follow-up to a discussion we had last month on the role of fathers, where we talked about how fathers should act or live out in their home, their responsibilities about protecting, praying, the head, and all of that, covering. So we are following up with that this month on discussing the role of mothers, because we have to also create that balance so that as we talk to the fathers, we're also talking to the mothers. And one major role that is critical, which we have seen from the Bible about wives or women, that God said He has brought the woman as a help meet for the man. Because anytime I read that scripture, it really wows me, because I say, if God is saying the man needs a help, He also shows that the man is helpless. Because if the man can do it all, then God will not be saying the man needs a help. So he's only a helpless person, someone who needs help, that requires a help. So He always helped me to see that as a man, I don't know it all. If I have everything all to myself, then God will not be saying He's going to bring a help meet for me. So I think as men, we need to understand the place of the woman in our life. God is bringing that woman because we don't have it all. We don't have all it takes until that woman contributes his quarter. So bringing it from the role of the woman as a help meet for the man. I think we'll have to discuss different areas where the woman, offers this help. In the area of in life, ministry, in raising children. What are those roles that the woman play in being a help? I think, and I know as a woman, which you are, and you've been doing great work in that area, I would like you to read this to the women. Okay, like if we can discuss this in the area of being a help, maybe in ministry, in life, and also in raising children. So in those three areas, how do you think the woman really need to help the man in life?
Okay, it's very obvious that, like you said, a man that would get a help is a man that has first of all recognized that I need help.
Very true.
Yes. And for a woman to be a helpmeet, it also means that you have gained strength
to help a man.
But before I even delve into that, I want to also state that only someone who is doing something needs help.
Very true.
Nobody helps someone who is not doing anything. Okay, so when we talk about help, we're talking that this person needs it. This person is doing something and that is why I need to be available to help. So in the aspect of the man, we need to know that the woman plays a very important role in the life of a man.
Very important.
Bible says that two are better than one. Even physically, spiritually, there is an extent to which the man can go.
Very true.
You cannot do much without the woman.
Very true.
That is the truth. The woman is not in your life just to have sex and bring forth children. There is more to that. And for the woman, we have the role to nurture these men with what God has committed into their hands. We're not in their lives just to consume. Okay? We're not in their lives just to eat and eat and eat. We are also there to contribute. In the work of His hands, what is your contribution? There's a notion we women have. When you have money, you keep to yourself. You don't want your husband to know. You want to use it for this. There's always a this, that on the list of a woman. But truly, if you understand that the issue of oneness, like we talked about, God brought you people together as a team. One thing I say to myself is that, especially when we're beginning to have some issues, I say to myself that my husband is me and I am him.
Very true.
So I cannot do to him what I will not do to myself. I cannot hide things from him when I cannot hide it from myself. You know, I even say this to myself. Somebody you cannot hide your body from. Why are you hiding money from him? You know, for me, that's a deep issue.
Yeah.
So in the life of the man, there is a contribution that you can add. There is something that you can give. There is a part that you can play, no matter how small.
Yes, that is very, very true. You know, so most times you think marriage is about competition, but God has called us into a partnership. And just as we talk about the role of fathers in giving that support, I like what you're saying about the woman also giving the support in life, in whatever the man is doing, in standing as a team. So there's so many crises in the home because everybody thinks marriage is, everybody's running their own different entities. We need to work as a team and being that helpmate in life. And it's a very interesting discussion. And we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about being a help, also in ministry. And don't forget that you can drop your questions with us on our social media handles. You can also drop your comments even as you watch us take this session. Just write in the comment section. Our social media handles are displayed on the screen. You can send us a private message, you can send us a mail, and follow us on all our handles. Please join us again. Thank you.
You're welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you for staying tuned.
Thank you.
Yes, our discussion continues on the role of the mother in the home.
The home.
Now, taking our discussion further, we want to talk about the mother or the wife as the helpmeet in ministry.
Wow.
Now, I want you to take note that the meet we're talking about is M-E-E-T. The helpmeet in ministry.
You meet.
As you meet. Yes, thank you for that. Yes. You see, we said it earlier that a man that you're helping is a man that has something doing. God has a purpose for every of our husbands. There is something that God has called every of our husbands to do. And if we find it and find our place as a support in it, I tell you, your husband will blossom in it.
Very true.
He will flourish in it.
Very
he will progress in it with ease. With ease. There will not be much struggle.
Yeah.
Now, in the place the woman, there is a grace of prayer that we have. There is a grace that when we pray, things happen with ease. You know, instead of worrying and jilting about things, and as it is with us women, running to our husband for attention when there's a little shake, we can shake the table of heaven for our husbands.
Yes, ma'am.
There is something that you can say to God concerning the man that God has given you, and he will progress. Oh, you don't say, I'm not the one who can go on the pulpit. I'm not the one who can go to the theater. I'm not the surgeon. I'm not the one who can do this. I'm not the one who can do that. Excuse me, there is something you can do that the man cannot do. There is a role that you should play in the life of your husband so that in his ministry, he will stand gallant. Remember I said, we are supposed to be contributors and not consumers. It's not for him to gather all the money in ministry. Gather and gather and gather and let me be chopping and be chopping and be, like my husband would say, chopping the money. Beyond that, there is more. And before he comes in, I also want to say this. If you are not a woman that is spiritually stable, you can't help a man of vision. If you're not a man that your knees, or a woman that your knees are always bended to the floor and you are talking to heaven concerning your husband, see, even a man of vision can become a disaster in your hands. Your hand must nurture this man in ministry.
Very true.
So that his vision will not become a disaster. God has given him a vision. But if you are a wife not meet, that vision can become a mess. So I'll let the man come in at this point.
Thank you so much. I really want to appreciate my wife. She has really done so well in. Sometimes I say, if not for her prayers and for her support, because sometimes a man, you're overwhelmed.
Yes.
You're like, I beg, what is this? And if you don't have a woman who is saying you can do it, you can pray. So a woman will say, you're overwhelmed. Cannot come and kill herself. Well, let's leave this thing. Let's just leave it and just go out. and enjoy ourselves. What
cannot help everybody.
Cannot help everybody. You know, so I cannot come and die. You know, but when you have a wife that you can do it, you can press. I can see the best in you. I see you breaking limits. I see you fulfilling that purpose. There's nothing a man needs as such support. Yes. I want to talk about ministry. We're not saying every man and woman to go and open a church or be a pastor. No, exactly. No. Wherever you are, is a ministry, is a call, is a vision. You can be a CBN governor. That is the position that God has placed you. You can be the principal of a school, and that's where God has placed you. And we're not just saying that if God has called you, if you're a CBN governor, then your wife should just sit down at home and be praying for you as a CBN governor. God can also commit something to your wife to be doing as a support for the home. But whatever you are doing, wherever you are, make sure that whatever you are doing, you know, it has a way of aligning with the family value, with what God has called you to do. Understand? And you are giving that support. You are giving. Some people, God may call them and say, "No, I want you to just be, be a prayer support for this." What has God called you to do as a woman? So people, the husband might be doing a lot of work, and the woman is still working and is supporting the home. Yes. But you are sure that God also wants her to function in this area, but be that support, to the family. So we are not saying there's a hard and fast rule. All of you should just give it and see that. No, that's not what we are saying. But whatever God has called your husband to do, called your family to do, you have a place as a woman to stand as a support. Sincerely, men also feel weary. Sometimes we are tired. Sometimes we are worn out. Sometimes we are devastated, even though the man may not be speaking. But as a wife, you know when your husband is down. You know when your husband is tired, and you give him that support. I say, darling, something is wrong. You are not yourself. You are moody. What is that? And in that ministry, in that vision, you are supported. But whatever happens, whatever that man becomes, it's for both of you. Yes. Whatever that your name is mentioned as the wife of this, is that honor is also given to you as the wife. And whatever your wife also achieves, whatever result she also achieves, the husband is also part of it too, because the two has become one. I think it's really been an interesting discussion. Yeah. And it's not something we can really exhaust today, because it requires a lot, because it's an area where we need to pay attention to, because there have been a lot of friction in who does this, power tussle, who is there. Marriage is a teamwork, it's partnership. Everybody understanding their unique role and then playing it effectively, and we accepting one another in that unique role that we are playing, and everybody contributing their quota. And there's really, really, really peace, I don't think we can exhaust this in this edition. I think we will have to close here, because our time is fast spent, and in the next edition we'll go on with this, the role of mothers, where we'll talk about the role in raising children and in keeping the home. We've talked about the fathers in the last edition, and how the fathers also play their role, and we'll continue further with what the mother will do. I think you're doing a great job, and we'll hear you again. Talk about that. So thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to see you next week, same time, same station, discussing this. So
thank you. We are still your hosts.
Yes,
the edits.
The edits.
Thank you. See you again next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.